looking great. Now you can decide if you want to put anything else on it. The other thing I thought of putting on mine, so you could just leave the legs. I was thinking, and I can't decide whether to or not, I'm just worried that it's going to be a little bit heavy on it. If I put that on there, would that be really heavy? I did like the look of it to go on there, but I think it's covering up most of the lace. I don't know. It's a hard one to decide. I could put it on the next row up, like that, and have it on there, so it's sort of like, was like that, and it's sort of laid like that. That's quite nice. Or, I don't know. I'm going to try it on this bottom row and see what it looks like. If I don't like it, I can always unpick it. Right, so I'm going to do exactly the same as I've just did, so you probably won't want to watch me do that. So I'll just come on and show you what we did. I'll do just like before. I'll show you how I start off with it. Just take those two long ends out of the way. Right, so grab a piece. Here we go. And I'm going to do exactly the same, so I'm just going to show you the beginning. So I'm just, with this one, I'm going to just curl it just back like that, just a little. I think just give yourself enough to curl it back. Find that. Where is it? Where's that French seam? Is it there? Here, there. So I've curled that back under. Put that one on. So if you want to with this, to make sure it lays flat, you could put in 2 rows of stitching. I'm just going to start myself off with one, making sure it's laying flat, making sure all those tassely bits are hanging down like that side. And here we go. And I've got quite a load of this stuff. I thought I'd just use it up. Now, as you can see, this is going to be a bit thicker to go through. Okay. I didn't do a back stitch. When I get round to the end, I'll go over it with the back stitch. Okay. So I'm going to come all the way around. What I will do is, you don't have to watch me doing this if you don't want to, because you probably won't have the same stuff as I have, but you could put some different bits and pieces on yours. Okay, I'm just going to come all the way around and do this now. So I'm just coming along, and I haven't got much left, so I'm just coming along to this to finish this last bit. Okay, so I'm just, what I've been doing is making sure that all these pieces are going down like that. I don't want to get any bits so it's coming up like that. So as I've been going along, I've just made sure all the way that that's laying flat. You don't want to find out that you've stitched it, and also you don't want any of it coming up underneath as well. It's quite sort of fly away. Sorry, that's just my machine being its usual self. I suppose it must be coming up to time to get it serviced again. So that's a pain, because then you get to lose it. Well, the only people I know who can service it are quite a few miles away. So you send it up to be serviced, or you can drive up there. I think that was what we did last time, was drove up there. Waited whilst they did it, and then came back down. It was like a 300-mile round trip sort of thing. So I'm coming here, and I'm just going to lift my needle and take it out. Okay, so I've got just that piece there, and I'm going to just cut it. So I want to cut it about 1/2 inch to 1 inch extra over the edge. There you go, like that. And I'm just going to tuck the whole of that back under there and sit it under like that. Okay, and come back on. Come to where I was. I'm just going to do back stitch here. Okay. Alright, and then I'm just going to come right down to the end and join that up. I just don't want to come off, it's just sort of right at the edge of that now. I'm just going to make sure it stays on there. That's better. Okay, and I'm just going to turn it now, because what I'd like to do is just bring it so that I'm coming down just on this top bit here to hold that end in place. I'm just going to go through once and then back stitch that. Just there on that side, and I'm going to just lift the needle again. I put it in the needle down because it was sliding a little bit, and I'm going to just stitch down there as the same. And then I'm going to come back again. That will just stop that from coming out or unravelling there. Okay, so I've finished that there like that. So that is the frill on it, and I quite like that actually. I'm going to get some really good movement from that. The only thing I would say is if you are putting the frill and the lace on, you might want to lower your lace and put your lace underneath the frill maybe, so it's slightly longer. But I really like that. I think you needed the lace. If you didn't have the lace, it would look a bit weird. Right, so when I was doing it, when I cut it, I saw that there was a long end coming from where the join is, which is here somewhere. I thought I could have sworn there was a long end. One of these blue ones was a long end hanging down. It's obviously gone inside. A minute. Right, okay, I'll cut that off when I find it. If you do find that you've got one long piece of these, just trim it back. Alright, I don't know where it's gone. I could definitely saw it there. There it is. There, okay. So I'm just going to trim that one back. There we are. Alright. I'll trim off all my threads. Okay, so that's that skirt, and it's got that lovely frill on the bottom. Can you see how lovely and that sort of bouncy that is? I think that's going to look really nice. So now what I thought I would do is I've got these lovely bumblebees, and I thought I'd place them around on the skirt in a few different places. So I'm just going to chop up a couple. I bought this by the metre, and I think I got, was that a quarter of a metre? Maybe just a quarter of a metre of that. So that's one. I'm just going to neaten up that face where that joined stitch is. Don't need too many. So only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'll have 4 on this one and 5 on the bigger size one. Or I might just have 3 actually. I think I might have 3 and then keep 1 for the hairband. Or I might just go and buy some more. I'll just go and buy some more. Okay, so I'll just join. I'll move these out a bit. There we are. That's another one. So I found these in a little shop, but I'm going to see if I can find these online for you, because I thought these were adorably cute and they went really well with the skirt with the bee fabric on it. Let's put those on first. Right. So as you can see, it's all outlined in black, so I'm going to just change to a black thread. That's gone through straight away. So grab it with the fin bow, and basically all you're going to do is go all the way around the outside of your bee on those black lines. Okay. You want the black, not the white bits. So it's coming up there. Okay. And go in again right beside it. Alright, and go all the way around. I'm not going to bore you with doing that. When you get to the end, just knot it off. You might need to replace your thread as you're going around, because you might not have enough, but you just basically want to come all the way around the whole thing like that and finish off just where you started and knot it off. Okay, so that's that one. So with my butterfly, I couldn't decide whether to have it so that it was sort of flappy like this, and I really did like it like that, or whether to stitch it down. And when I tried, I did have a sort of go at just stitching the ends in that, stop it from coming out, but it just looked a bit weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch it here, and then I'm going to put a stitch just there and a stitch just there to stop it from falling forward, so it doesn't sort of, when it's up, it doesn't sort of just go like that and flop down. Okay, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to pop some stitches in behind here, and I'm going to start off with, I've knotted my cotton, and I'm just going to come in here across the back. There you go, I've got a knot in the end. And I'm going to pop that in, and I'm just going to stitch this on where I think looks nice, and it's about there, I would say. So I'm coming about here. Right. Okay, and I probably want to put a good few stitches in this. I don't want it coming out. I'm just going to put a couple stitches just through the white a second, just to hold that in place. And then we'll go through. But what I don't want is to go through so that it's showing on the front here at all. I've used like a whitey creamy thread. I don't want it coming out so that you're seeing it at all. I'm going to come down a bit. So I'm just going to try and get it so that it's just holding it in place like so. Yeah, like this. Keep coming through. That's it. I want to do several little bits on several bits, and I'll probably do about, as I say, about 10 stitches. And just hold that in. Go sort of around and place it in. That's that one going? Yes, it is. Okay, and I have got my thread doubled, and I have got a knot in it. I might find that it does get caught up on the bits like that, just pull it through. Tango, tango. Right, okay. And then another one in here. So just carry on doing some stitches until you've got a nice few stitches in here. It's coming up in the middle of that flower, and I don't want it to come up in the middle of that flower. There we go. Okay, and then so I'll do 10 and then come back, and then we'll come back and we'll stitch the next bit. Okay. So what I'm wanting to do now is just pop it in up here somewhere, right up here. I want to get into the right into those stitches there. Okay, like that, and then I'm just going to come in here like that and hold this down. Make sure that's not a knot, and probably do about 3 or 4. I don't want to do too many because you don't want too much thread showing up. Okay, and this is just going to hold it, stop it all flopping forward. And right into the fabric at the back there, just to keep that in place. There we go. And that'll just probably be enough just to hold that. There you go. Just like that, okay? And I'm just going to come around the other side and just knot it off now, just as we usually do. One. And another one. There we go. So that's that one done. And then we'll do exactly the same on the other side. I just have to rethread the needle, I think. If you can use a small needle and you can thread a small needle, then do that, because it's much easier on your hands, especially if you're doing a lot, and it will go through the fabric much easier than the large needle, and much neater as well. So I'm going to just pop it in. So I'm going to lay it down, so lay it so it's wanting to look where it wants to lay, and it's decided it wants to go like that. So I'm going to just put that in, and I'm just going to put it right on the edge of those stitches. Just like that. There we go. Then just check that that definitely is laying okay. That's fine. Alright, and then we're just going to come in like that. Go in. Alright. And you can put other stitches in if you want to. I mean, you can go all the way around if you want to. It's entirely up to you. I just found that it just sort of didn't quite lay right. I think because it's quite a large thing, and it's not actually like a solid, when you're putting a solid one on, you know, like the patches you get, it just looks a bit weird when it's stitched down. I think it looks better just sort of like as if it was flying on there. There you go. I'll just leave it like that, and I'll put a stitch in the back, do a knot, through there, one, and 2. There we are. Okay, snip that off. There we are. Right. Okay, so that's that one. So we're going to just do 2 more. I'm going to put one about here, I think. That one's going that way, so I'll put that one going that way, and that one going that way. So I'll just stitch those on, and then I'll let you have a look at what it looks like when it's all finished. Okay, hopefully you can see that all. So that's how it's going to go. So I'm going to finish off stitching those on, and then I'll come back and let you see what they look like. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and leave me a comment down below. And I will see you next week. Goodbye.